Good morning, everyone. It's Mary Ann from the New York City Organization of Public Service Retirees. There's a lot of misinformation swirling out about there, and I want to break a few things down in a brief video. So, the New York City Employees PPO plan, NYCE PPO plan, is now eventually, within this week, we believe, moving to the comptroller for the next phase. It was supported by a majority of the Municipal Labor Committee due to a weighted vote. There were many unions that did not support it, and we've told you who those were. Mostly the uniforms and a couple of DC 37 locals. But because of the weighted voting structure, the way that DC 37 and the United Federation of Teachers has the largest vote in the Municipal Labor Committee, the plan now proceeds. Why were they compelled to do this? Well, the leadership of the Municipal Labor Committee admitted in the last MLC meeting that they were in court with the city over the failed 2014 and 2018 MLC agreements, and that they were currently in court with them because the city was trying to force them into arbitration to pay up the $4.8 billion the city claims that the unions owe because of their failed agreements. Implement this plan, because implementing this plan, the city said, would stop the court case and allow them to forgive the $4.8 billion. However, the contract that the unions agreed to was redacted in the last 40 pages. And in there was $1 billion savings agreement. We know that they agreed to save $1 billion with this health plan. We also can't see in that redacted pages that if the costs to the healthcare plan to the city do not materialize, what would happen. We also know that they're going to try to hold them responsible in this plan, that they couldn't hold them responsible in the last two agreements to that savings benchmark. So if the $1 billion isn't started to be realized after year one, after year two, what will happen? And that's redacted. We also don't know what triggers there would be and where would they apply costs. But working in healthcare for decades, we do know that where they're going to try to make that up is roll back healthcare access cost. So they're going to implement more copays. They're going to implement deductibles. They're going to implement more prior authorization to delay or deny the care that your doctors are asking, prescribing for you. That's how they save money. That is why we fought the Medicare Advantage plan, because those were all tools that we knew that they were using in that plan. Those were in the contract. In this agreement, they're redacted. You can't see what's in there, and that's another problem. While, yes, this plan offers what we have been begging for decades, is a network of providers for retirees and their families who live nationwide. For the first time yet, on a free plan, this plan may not be free because of all of the built-in costs. Many people keep saying to us, but the plan has no copays. Oh, yes, it does. Now, if you are in the downstate 13, which is really the downstate 14, they don't know how to count, you use an ACPNY clinic or an HHC facility, there are no copays. That's tier 1. You use the regular in-network service doctors, that's tier 2. There are copays throughout there, and we put up that slide sheet, that presentation as to what that is. And then there's tier 3, which is the out-of-network, which you no longer have covered basically in this plan, would provide you can use doctors, but they're only going to reimburse at the Medicare rate, and then you eat the rest of that coinsurance. You need to know which of your doctors are in the network and which are not, and you have to use their official tool to do so. So this is why this is important, because they customize the networks for this plan, just like they've done for every other plan. So those are the concerns that we have. What is our organization trying to do about it? We have been speaking with the city. We have been working with the unions. We have been speaking with people to try to help fix the deficiencies in that we've recognized and demand transparency. So you have a couple of groups out there that are saying, filing petitions or talking about what we're potentially doing. We haven't committed to doing anything yet other than to see what transparency that there is out there for them to give us. The city has to give you this information before open enrollment, which is November 1. If they don't, then there are people that can try to stop this plan because they're not being given things, especially if they're active workers, that they don't have access to a mandatory subject to bargaining health care. Right now, the New York City Organization of Public Service Retirees hasn't made any decision or any move to do anything regarding litigation. We are trying to fix what we can have access to fix, or get our concerns out there into the hands of people that have the power to fix. If you have a larger question and you're an active worker, you should be reaching out to your union. They're the ones that hold the keys to this. Also, if you're a retiree and obviously you're no longer in a union and you have something to beef about, you should be beefing to your union, especially if they're your former union, especially if they're the ones that voted on this without seeing the contract. But you should also know the unions that did not support this, and I will put that image again at the end of this video. It's important for you to know the facts. You may have access. This is one of those situations of what we say is a carrot and a stick. They're dangling that network that you so desperately need in this plan, but yet they're hiding the details of what will happen because they're not telling you that they agreed to save the city $1 billion with this plan implementation. And because many of you don't understand how healthcare works, they bought or rented a network of doctors. They implemented all of these other benefits within this plan. They left it largely copay free for the people that live in the downstate 14 states, counties, and then implemented copays that in everywhere else. But they added a larger network, which comes at a larger expense, and they promised the city that the premium for that plan to them would not increase for 5 years. If there are built-in triggers in this contract, you should know that because you will end up paying them. And then if I don't tell you what those are or try to fight to get them, in 12 months or 18 months or 24 months when they go to trigger that increase on you, you're going to be complaining to the organization as to why you didn't tell us about this. We've been demanding transparency, and that's what we're going to continue to demand. We've demanded it of the city. We've asked the unions to make sure that you are protected, and that's our job. We are currently representing our retirees' best interest, even if some people out there don't recognize that that's what we're doing. We're not trying to kill this plan. We're trying to make sure that you have the answers to protect you and your family. There are things in this plan that are hidden in the redactions that you should know before getting involved in it. You have an inalienable right to know. Because if you get in this plan and then all of a sudden your costs start getting jacked up, you're going to get angry. But you should know that going into it. Even if you're willing to accept those terms, you should know what those terms are. Because today, your copay might be $15 on every service, and then tomorrow, they could be $50 on every service. You should know that too. Have a great day.
Don't speak what you don't understand. The truth is not in your command. Don't shout about what you think is fake. The decision is in yours to make.